People quit the game after the long gap with no updates, but returned when the new update dropped, only to quit again. The issue is that teamers are overpowering, especially with the spammy fruits like Dragon, Yeti, and Venom. The constant addition of even more spammy fruits makes the game feel repetitive and unfair, especially when you're faced with teamers that just spam their way to victory. The teamers, whether they're using Yeti, Dragon, or Kit, just overwhelm the game. Even if you pop V4, it feels like you can't do anything. The game has become filled with players who spam their abilities and take advantage of those who are playing solo. It doesn't feel fair, and for a lot of players, it's demoralizing. If you run into a team of these guys, you're pretty much done, no matter how much you try to counter them. And it doesn't help that these players often have the best fruits, making it almost impossible to win. Another big problem is the spammy fruits themselves. The addition of Dragon, Kit, Yeti, Venom, and other overpowered fruits has only made the situation worse. These fruits have moves that are spam-friendly and do tons of damage. Even though Venom is getting a rework soon, it's likely to become even more spammy, which just adds to the frustration. It's a pattern that has continued with every update. Add more spammy fruits, rework them to be stronger, and make the game feel more broken. This has made the game feel repetitive. Every update feels predictable. They rework the spam fruits to make them stronger, and the cycle continues. People were excited for the update because it brought something new, but it's starting to fade out now that they've explored everything, and the new content still features the same spammy elements. The addition of new fruits is nice, but the constant reworks of existing fruits, especially the spam-heavy ones, makes the game feel like it's stuck in a loop. Now, one of the bigger reasons players left is the lack of consistent updates. When you leave a game without updates for a year, it's hard to bring people back. Sure, the game got an update, but after that, things started to slow down again. Players came back to check out the new content, but after a while, they got everything they needed, or they got tired of being spammed by overpowered fruits and teamers. The problem is that a single update after a year won't keep players around. The game needs consistent updates to keep the community engaged. People are starting to leave again because there's nothing new to look forward to. They've played with the new stuff, fought through the spam, and now they feel like they've hit a wall. This is a major issue. If you're not giving players something fresh every few months, they'll eventually lose interest and move on. It's hard to stay motivated in a game when it feels like nothing is changing. Another issue is the repetitiveness of the content. We've seen a lot of updates, but a lot of them just feel like the same things with different skins. They add a new spam fruit or make a rework that makes the fruit even more spammy. It's the same cycle over and over. We don't get something truly creative, something that pushes the game in a new direction. I think players want something more than just another rework of an already overpowered fruit. They want something that shakes things up and keeps them on their toes. This repetitiveness makes people quit because they feel like they're doing the same thing over and over with no real progress. And this brings me to the newer players. The first-time players don't really get much in the way of updates that cater to them. The game is already hard to get into, and if there aren't any updates that make the starting experience better, newer players will quickly give up. Every update seems to be aimed at the endgame players, leaving the newcomers feeling left out. If you don't have something for them, they'll just quit. That's another reason the game is losing players. Let's not forget the hacker issue. The game has a major hacker problem. Whether it's bounty hackers, trade hackers, or PvP hackers, they ruin the experience for everyone. These hackers are everywhere, and they can completely destroy your gameplay. You'll hop into a server, and there's a hacker flying around, killing everyone, stealing fruits, and freezing trades. It's gotten so bad that it feels like at least 30% of the player base might be using some form of hacks. That's insane. These hackers completely ruin the experience, and it's frustrating for players who just want to enjoy the game. No matter how much you grind or strategize, hackers can just mess with your gameplay and make it impossible to enjoy. The game needs to take a hard stance on banning hackers and finding ways to detect these exploits before they spread further. Another thing I want to mention is the trend of hating on the game. When the game had no updates for a year, people started trashing it. This led to a bad reputation, which made people not even want to start the game in the first place. Sure, the devs took their time with the updates, and people were frustrated, but now it feels like some people just refused to give the game a chance because of the reputation it built. It's crazy how the community's opinion can influence whether someone even tries a game. If you're not even willing to give it a shot for yourself, then you're just basing your opinion on other people's views. To sum everything up, players are quitting because of several issues: the dominance of spammy fruits, the overpowering teamers, the repetitive updates, the lack of consistency with content, the hacker problem, and the negative reputation of the game. If the developers can address these issues, by focusing on balance, creativity, and consistency, the game could make a comeback and keep